This program is proudly brought to you by the VAFA Live Official app. With live scores, team stats, player stats and much, much more. Everything you need for the VAFA in the palm of your hand. Download it from the App Store or Google Play now.
This is Liam Healy for Complete Sports Management. We're here at Elsternwick Park where Old Melburnians have just defeated St Bernard's by 39 points. Here with the senior assistant coach of Old Melburnians, Paul O'Connell. Paul, a really impressive performance. I suppose kicking 46 points to nothing in the first quarter is something you would take and build off from that.
Yeah, 100% Liam. I think that's the first toss we've actually won this year, and invariably we're always kicking against the breeze, so it was just good to get one go our way. But you know, that said, you've got to take advantage of it, and we just thought the boys a bit slow to start, but we controlled the game, and we were pleased that we were able to take our opportunities with it.
And a real even spread across the boards. A lot of good guys contributed. Obviously, Gus Borthwick and Tom Paul obviously did what they do every week. And then Al Armstrong going forward. Kick 6 was your most dangerous forward. When he had one-on-ones, he usually won them most of the time. How impressed were you by his performance? Yeah,
look, we were really impressed. Al wasn't able to do a pre-season. He suffered a pretty serious injury while he was on holiday overseas. And he's really built into some form, and we're just pleased. When he puts pressure on, that's his main role, apart from kicking goals, obviously, but he did both today. And just on Gussie Borthwick as well, he gets heavily set on every week, and he had a hard tag today against him, but he still finds a way. Very impressive.
Yeah, obviously a very impressive player, Gus Borthwick. So obviously Collegians getting up today and Brighton getting up means that finals is not in the equation anymore. Next week, what does that sort of mean? Does the boys just we just want to win, we want to build habits into next season? Is that sort of what you're taking out of next week?
Yeah, a little bit of that, Liam, but also we've never finished ahead of the ledger in A grade. So we've won 9, we've lost 8. We really want to make it 10-8, and that's going to be our focus for next week. And then we'll also build on supporting our seconds and our thirds who are in the finals, and the under-19s as well. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Yep. And last one for me today, we saw a few blokes come off with a few sore injuries. Is there any real concerns out of this week?
Yeah, Nick Daish, unfortunately, he's got a compound fracture of the finger, so the bone was sticking through, and it was really ugly. So our thoughts are with Nick. He certainly won't be playing next week, but and we've got a few sore boys, and typically you do at this stage of the year.
Well, Paul, thank you very much for joining us. Next up, I'll be joined by a coach from St Bernard's. I'm now joined by the senior assistant coach of St Bernard's, Andrew Johnston. Jono, obviously a tough day out there, a difficult toss to lose, obviously with the massive breeze heading down this way. What was sort of the main message when you guys knew you were going to be kicking against that breeze in the first quarter?
Yeah, the conditions make it pretty hard. Obviously, we just needed to get numbers back there. We had Connor Riley dropping back in there and played pretty well, but I think they kicked 7 goals in that first quarter, which made it really hard for us. Going forward after that, we're just playing catch-up football, which was pretty hard to do in these conditions.
Yeah, and obviously, there was a big improvement in the second half with regards to that. You guys were able to move the ball more quickly when you were kicking against goal. Was there anything said? Was it just more try and get the ball moving by hand and run with the footy?
Yeah, again, it was just about having some effort. We just didn't think the effort was there enough in that first quarter. And under those conditions, you just need to try to get the ball going pretty quickly and give yourself an opportunity to be able to score. And we were a little bit more pressure on them, which was what we needed to do. But as I said, it was just too far to come back from. I think we were 9 goals down a couple of minutes into the second quarter. So it makes it really hard.
And Mitch Mahardy had the big job today on Jackson Payne. Played him pretty well, actually, especially closer to goal. What did you think of Mitch's performance?
Yeah, he was probably, it wasn't great. Jackson was really good probably early for them. But Mitchy's really good when he's up on the body playing against those sorts of players, and he probably went away from that early. But as the game went on, he played a little bit better, which we know he can. So, I think Jackson was still pretty good for the rest of the day anyway.
And so next week, St Kevin's at home, final game of the season. Obviously a big day for the club, bit of a rivalry there. What are you guys looking forward to about that matchup?
Look, I mean, we can't go down to B grade. We can't make finals, but we still want to try and finish off the year successfully as we have at home. You know, we tend to probably lift ourselves up a little bit more at home. which can be a good thing and an indictment on the players a little bit. But obviously, at the end of the day, you play to win and play to enjoy it. And they'll be making finals, so we want to try and make it as difficult for them. And if we can, it's like eating barbecue chickens. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not.
Very well done there, Jono. So thank you very much, Jono, for joining us. And just wrapping up here at Alstonwick Park, where Old Melburnians have run out 39-point winners.
This has been another Complete Sports Management production.